So, in my experience, the way that I kind of climbed out of this abyss, as I would call dealing with depression, is by going through my own self love experiment. And I got this concept from reading a book. It was called SelfLove Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. I would highly recommend it for anybody going through anything. Even if you're not going through mental health issues, it really gives you a framework of how to basically go through your own self love experiment, treating your own life as an experiment, trying new things, basically finding what you really love to do. If you're young, you probably don't really know what your passions are. I really did not have any passions 2.5 years ago. I didn't try any new things for fear of rejection, fear of embarrassing myself, fear of people judging me, thinking of me as weird and different. And this book really gave me the freedom to then go on my own self-love experiment, which started as me just journaling. It ended up turning into about a 350-page journal slash book where I basically, I wouldn't say overcame, but I basically put all of my emotional baggage and garbage on the table for me to look at consciously, for me to then understand the roadblocks I had. And it was very beneficial in just overcoming everything. So one thing that really helped me on this journey was journaling and just understanding my emotions, letting myself feel these emotions, even though they're terrible, pain, fear, all these negative emotions, they're not going to go away by just suppressing them and pretending they're not there. And that's what I did for a while. I thought that was how they would go away because I had never really taught anything about emotions or emotional intelligence, and I was going into it completely blind. So going through this experiment, I learned a lot about myself, more than I had ever known in the first 20 years of my life, about what I really enjoyed to do, and I realized that I really enjoyed creating art, which eventually manifested into poetry and music, and to me self-publishing my first poetry book, You Know Who You Are, which is loosely chronicling this journey of depression to heaven, as I would call it, basically finding self-love for myself and for others. And through this, I found healthy ways to express myself and express my unique, authentic self. And everybody has completely different passions, completely different wirings. We're all unique. But everybody has one or two things that they love doing, that they would do for the rest of their life, no matter what, whether they're getting paid for it or not, that makes them feel complete, makes life worth living. And if you don't have those things, well, I wouldn't really worry because you're just one step away from finding it. For the first 20 years of my life, I don't think I had ever written a poem. Maybe I wrote one, and I realized poetry was just one way for me to express myself creatively and emotionally, to help me find out who I really was, and to help put everything into perspective. And then that led me down the path of music. And I had never played an instrument. I bought a ukulele my freshman year in college. It sat unused for a whole year before I even summoned the courage to use it. I'm still not very good at it, but I make music with it, and it's very healing. It's just fun to learn new instruments and break out of your comfort zone, trying something new and really putting yourself out there. On top of that, as I said, I read the Self-Love Experiment book. I got really a lot into reading. I found so many books that were so beneficial to me, books that I'd never been shown in college or high school, which is honestly a shame, but I'll be talking a lot about specific books and specific books that helped me.